Suppose I were to offer a $100 bill to every reader who called or emailed me, but I also said that I was going to wad the bill up before I gave it away. Would you want the money? Suppose I said that I was also going to take the bill to Jeannie's veggie garden bed and rub it in the dirt. Would you still want it? And suppose I said that after I watered up and rub it in the dirt, I would cough on it as well. Would you still want it then? Well, I guess that regardless of what I did to defile this bill, to ruin its appearance, to make it look as bad as possible, well, you would still take it. Why? Well, the answer, I think, is obvious. No matter how much I defiled the $100 bill, its value still wouldn't change. Not at all. It would still be worth all that it was before I damaged it. It would be worth everything that a completely fresh, brand new, crisp $100 bill is worth. In the same way, regardless of how damaged and defiled some of us are, our worth as human beings has not changed. Our value before God has not diminished. Rich or poor, healthy or sick, young or old, saint or sinner before God, there's no hierarchy of worth. No. The cross has made us all the same. Now, the New Testament doesn't recognize the kind of class distinctions so often found in society and in certain faiths. It doesn't recognize them and even considers them repugnant. The cross on which Jesus died for the sins of every human being is the great leveler. Before God, the cross, all distinctions of class, of race, of nationality, of power, of gender, of everything are completely erased. Around Calvary's cross, Paul wrote in Colossians chapter 3, verse 11, "Here there is no Greek or Jew, circumcised or uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave or free, but Christ is all in all." Paul's point can be translated into any age, any culture, from the homeless beggar on the street to the wealthiest politician and patrician sitting in his estate. We're all of the same value before God. It is said that the great conqueror of antiquity, Alexander the Great, once came across the philosopher Diogenes staring at a pile of human bones. "What are you looking at?" Alexander asked the aged philosopher. "Something that I cannot find," replied Diogenes. "What's that?" "The difference between your father's bones and the bones of his slaves." Profound, isn't it? You see, no matter who we are, no matter what our station in life, we face the same end: death. We all wind up as bones. And I don't think our bones look much different from anyone else's. Do you? Death knows no class distinction, no ethnic distinction, no moral distinction. There's no prejudice in death at all. It treats everyone the same, which is precisely why Jesus Christ died for everyone, too. He came to save the entire human race, every person, from the fate that we all face. That is eternal destruction. In the eyes of God, we are all sinners, all in need of divine grace. Okay, someone is saying, Lonnie, even if that's true, what does it mean? What does it have to do with our topic, the Christian life? What does it mean on a practical, day-to-day level? It means that we need to treat all people with respect, with dignity, and with grace, regardless of who they are, what their station in life, and whether or not they can give us anything back. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Do you know that what the Jewish religion considers one of the great mitzvot, or good deeds? It's when someone does a kindness to an animal. Because when people do good deeds to animals, they know they're not likely to receive anything in return. They do them even though they know the animal will never be able to trumpet their praises. In short, they do the deeds selflessly. Now, this is also a crucial element of the Christian life. Doing something for others, not because one expects anything in return, but simply because all human beings have an inherent worth, a worth revealed by the cross. Now, if that doesn't capture the essence of the Christian faith, nothing does. My friend Els Hetke served for many years in Pakistan and India as a missionary. Els once met Mother Teresa. She was holding a dying child in her arms. Eyes half shut, fleas, vermin, flies covering its eyes and mouth and nose, dying. No hope, no future. No one cared, except Mother Teresa. When Pastor Hetke asked her why would she do that, even he was repulsed when she offered to let him hold the dying baby. Why do you do that? She replied, when looking into this child's face, I'm looking into the eyes of Jesus, who in Matthew 25:40 said, assuredly I say to you, inasmuch as you do it to one of the least of these my brethren, you did it to me. Now think about this. In a sense, isn't that what Jesus did for us? We who were those dying wretches, without hope, without a single hope in the world. But Jesus holds us in his tender arms because to God, we are worth it. Think about what we've been saying these last few talks. We believe that Jesus was the creator of the universe, the one in whom we live and move and have our being. Acts 17:28. We exist only because he created us and sustains us. And even though we're perishing, he still loves us. I once read that the visible part of the universe is about 27 billion light years across. This means that if the visible universe were scaled down to the size of the Earth, our solar system would be the size of a small bacterium. I mean, that's the solar system. We'd have to scale down quite a bit more to represent the size of our Earth, and even then more to get to us as human beings. So compared to the universe, what are we worth? Not worth much. Totally insignificant. Compared to the God who created everything, the universe, what are we? Given the vast gulf between God and us, what could we possibly do for him? Yet what does the Bible say about Jesus? It's incredible. In Philippians 2, 6 to 8, he, being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be grasped, but made himself nothing, taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness, and being found in appearance as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient to death, even death on a cross. I really can't get my mind around that text. Can you? I mean, look at what Jesus did for us. We who could really do nothing in return for him. Here is the essence of what God's love for us is all about. Self-denying, self-sacrificing, giving to those who can give you nothing back. Sure, anyone can be nice and giving to those who can give us something in return. But to give when you have no hope of getting anything back, to help those who can offer you nothing in return, that's the practical element of Christianity. That's what more than anything else indicates what it means to be a Christian. Perhaps that's why James wrote in James 1:27, religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after orphans and widows in their distress. What can widows and orphans give back to us? Very little. No wonder Jesus put so much emphasis on helping the poor, the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the ones in prison. These are the weakest elements in our society, the marginalized, the ones who have the least to offer. If they don't have food, if they don't have clothes, then they don't have much to offer back, do they? When you hand money to that homeless person, what can that person do for you? Nothing. When you donate your time, your money, your energy to victims of hurricanes like Katrina or Hugo or the tsunami or the earthquakes in Pakistan and Iceland and India, what can those victims do for you in return? Nothing. That's the way it should be. We should be giving with no hope of getting anything in return. How I wish for myself and for all others who profess the name of Jesus that we could be known for something other than the Christian crusades, the cross burnings of the South, and the weekly mega church services. I wish we could be known as people who value all other people, no matter how defiled, corrupted, or unlovely those people might appear, because Jesus Christ, by his death on the cross for those people, yes, for those people too, has proved their worth. If the God of the universe, the creator of the heavens and the earth, sees such value in them, how much more should we? We who really aren't that different from those folks ourselves. If Jesus died for us, we who can do nothing for him, how much more should we be willing to do for those who can do nothing for us?